Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Glenda Chavez, and on my channel you will find all kinds of DIY content, including furniture flipping. So today we're going to find out if I was able to successfully rescue this piece of furniture. So if you want to see what happened, then just keep watching. I started by removing these 1x2s that were added to the sides. My guess is that they were added in hopes of adding support to the underlying structural issue. I'll address that more later. I removed all of the drawers and began stripping away all of the peeling veneer from the base as well as the drawer fronts, and thankfully it wasn't difficult at all to remove. After removing all of the veneer, I took some TSP substitute and sprayed it down really well. I also filled a small container with water and TSP substitute with a rag and a brush. I don't normally feel the need to have to use a brush to scrub the pieces I refinished, but this piece is pretty old and extremely dirty. Like, you could see the layer of the dirt in the crevices, and the best way for me to remove all of that was to really give it a good scrub. There were some screws that were not original to the dresser, so I went ahead and removed those. And these poor drawers. So my guess is these drawers at some point came apart and someone put them back together using some sort of foam. I'm not really sure what it was. The good news, although tedious, it was fairly simple to remove by scraping it all off. To patch up some of the missing veneer on the top, I used a 2-part wood filler and regular wood filler on the smaller areas. You remember the screws I removed from the sides? They apparently were holding these side rails to the side frame. I went ahead and glued those back into place. To address the structural issue, I turned the dresser on its side and realized that everything was just basically in place but not reinforced together. So I wood glued, clamped, and nailed everything back into place. While I waited on that to dry before removing the clamps, I went ahead and put the drawers back together again using some wood glue. The following morning, I did the exact same thing to the opposite side. The top three smaller drawers had all of the veneer intact, so I decided to go for a two-tone look. I removed the existing finish with 180 grit sandpaper followed by 220 grit with a sanding sponge. The other drawer fronts I just scuff sanded. I wanted to preserve the decorative veneer on this one drawer, so I covered it with green tape for when I sprayed. I followed by scuff sanding the rest of the dresser with my mouse sander and used a sanding sponge for the smaller, harder to reach areas and curved details. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I love to use Melange paints, Knapsack, Khaki for a wash since discovering them. So that's what I did to the smaller drawers. For the rest, I used Melange in the color Jet Black. After applying the first coat, I lightly sanded to ensure a smoother finish before applying the second coat. For my top coat, I used Varathane's polyurethane in a matte finish. While I waited on the first coat to dry, I cleaned up my hardware and I decided to keep the existing hardware except for the knobs. I replaced with these that I liked more for my stash. I gave everything a light sand and applied a second coat of polyurethane. Because the original hardware turned out to be mostly silver, I added a light brushing of metallic gold spray paint. Now that we're finally finished, let's take a look at what this dresser used to look like. What it looks like now. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this one wore me out. For any of you who are curious, I spent about 8 hours refinishing this piece of furniture. I spent $38 on paint, about $20 in materials, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that I actually spent money on this dresser. I spent $20, which isn't a lot, but the total cost of this project was about $78, just roughly under $80, which there's still a good margin for profit, so I'll let you guys know in the comments at some point when I decide how much I'm gonna list it for. Now, I will say this is probably gonna be my last one that I do for a while anyway, where I have to completely like do so much work to it in order to get it to look nice, because I'm telling you, it was exhausting, unless it's actually something that I'm doing for a commission. So that brings me to a point that I wanted to talk about. I let you guys know a couple of videos back that I had an announcement for you guys. I wanted to share some news with you guys, and that news is the fact that I am actually deciding to taking this little side hustle and making it an actual small business. So I am going to be creating a website where you guys can go and look at the furniture that's available. Now, at the very beginning, once my website launches, most of the furniture is only going to be available local for pickup or obviously delivery within a certain radius of where I live. And eventually I do want to be able to expand and get some of these pieces delivered all over, you know, the US. And I think that would be super cool, and I think it's super exciting to look forward to something like that. And so I came up with a name, I came up with a logo, and the name is going to be Revived Designs by GC. And so I just wanted to share that little bit of piece of news with you guys. I think that it's super exciting for me. Some of you guys were just wondering what it was, and that's what it was. Stay on the lookout for that. Of course, I'll let you guys know whenever I do have that up and running, but I just wanted to share that little piece of news with you. All of this would not be possible without you guys' support. I feel like you guys give me that extra confidence that I sometimes need, and reassure myself that what I'm doing is something worthwhile and something that you guys actually enjoy. Thank you. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys for all of your support. You guys stay safe, of course, be kind, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.